Internet, Mogwai here, and I got another Legends of Runeterra video for you guys today. And today we are gonna play Jae Medarda, who got buffed. Yes, he got buffed. I say this because a good portion of the player base believes this card actually got nerfed, because it went from an 8 mana 6/6 with elusive to a 6 mana 4/4 without the elusive keyword. Now, even though we do lose the elusive keyword, and we are talking about a quite simply smaller version of what Jae Medarda was, this is actually a buff, because going from 8 mana to 6 mana is tremendous in Legends of Runeterra. It really does enable Jae Medarda to actually deliver in what is intended, or what his role is intended, English, when it comes to his actual design. And that is a value engine in the late game, right? If he's 8 mana, it's too late for him to really be competitively viable, because 8 mana unit plays in this game, in order for them to be competitive, they need to be able to do something upon entry. As they enter the board, they need to have some sort of impact immediately, right? Jae Medarda really didn't, right? He was a beefy elusive unit, but 8 mana is a lot, and you know, from that point onwards, you didn't really benefit as much from the card draw, because the game was going to be over soon anyways, right? So him dropping down to 6 mana is actually a massive deal, and people don't realize how significant of a buff this is, despite the fact that he's losing the elusive keyword. Now, I spent all stream yesterday trying to make Jae work, and at first we stumbled, you know, we fell flat on our face multiple times, and this kind of like highlights one of my few issues with streaming. I love streaming. I love most things about streaming. I love showcasing my deck. I love talking with my chat about random shit. I love looking at my chat and seeing like a billion Crimson Disciple loot emotes. That actually makes me happy, believe it or not. And I just really enjoy the process. I feel very lucky and I'm fortunate to do what I do. But I don't love everything about it. There is one aspect about streaming that I don't like, and that is deck building in my stream, basically. Because deck building is my favorite aspect of card games, but I'm also a very slow deck builder. I go through experimental process, right? And I take my time. Sometimes I come up with really strong deck concepts immediately. Sometimes it's a trial and error sort of thing, right? And that's what happened with Jae Medarda. Like, for the first half of the stream, I was trying variants with him with Demacia. I was trying an all-in combo Ionia variant with him as well. That was amazing when you drew Jae and you weren't facing a super aggressive deck, but was pretty useless when you didn't draw him, right? So I went through several phases. I tried different strategies, and I got a good grasp of what makes Jae work, and just how fast he is as a potential win condition, and overall how reliable he is, and what kind of deck he fits best, right? And that's why I ended up in this build right here. This is a deck that benefits tremendously from Jae Medarda, but does not need him to succeed. Very important aspect when deck building, right? And it was because of this long deck building, you know, trial and error sort of process that I was able to like actually reach this final version, which performed really well and got us going on like a 6-game win streak towards the end of the stream. So this deck performed really, really well, and definitely made up for the, you know, the prior versions who were not as, you know, excelling, to say the least. So what is this deck, and why does Jae fit really well into it? In fact, this deck is significantly better because of Jae's addition to the build. So this is a Draven-Vi mid-range deck that aims to utilize Draven for early game aggression, and aims to win with Vi paired onto the likes of Sunpork's map for a very big direct hit onto the opponent's nexus. When it comes to our early game, we have Astute Academics and Draven's biggest fan, because this is perhaps the best deck for Draven's biggest fan, as Draven is a super important asset for this deck, not only for the early stages of the game, but also in the late game. Draven is actually a good top deck for Jae Medarda. Jae Medarda can really benefit from the axis, the spinning axis to be precise, that Draven generates. If we target our boy Jae Medarda with them, we will be drawing a card at burst speed, which is why Astute Academic is our 1-drop of choice. generally speaking, after turn 1, this will be a 1 mana 2/2, but because of the addition of a couple of rummages and the potential of Jae Medarda just crazy draw in the end, it could actually become an alternate win condition to Vi if we don't manage to keep Vi on the board or draw her in that game, right? So we have a bunch of spells that are self-targeting. We have a full set of Sunfork's map, we have a full set of Transfusion. On top of that, we got Noxian Fervor and Whirling Death to complement Draven's axes, which are 0 mana. So we have a bunch of different resources that allow us to draw off with Jae, and even units in the form of the Imperial Demolitionist. In case you don't know, if you play Demolitionist and you target Jae with her, you will draw a card off of that as well. We're also running the Crimson Disciple and Chempok Pickpocket as an extra source of 2-drops, since we don't really have great 3-drops. Like, that's one of the hardest things building this deck, was that when you combine Nexus and Piltover, your 3 mana units and 4 mana units are a little bit underwhelming compared to other region combinations, right? So that's where this sort of deck was a little bit weaker, and that's why I decided to focus more on 2-drops, going with the Chempok Pickpocket, which is fantastic for strategies that try to, you know, be more reactive early on. We punish lack of proactivity and an empty board state early with the Pickpocket right here, and we can also, in a pinch, combine him with the map, give him elusive, and start getting some neat value as well. We are running a couple of Culling Strikes in case we run into Braum. Pretty damn important. In fact, this deck felt like a pretty good matchup against Braum. I don't think this deck is at Braum's level overall, as power level wise. Like, I don't think this deck is tier 1 by any means. But it is competitive, and it actually happens to have a very decent matchup against that because of our late game elusive game plan. And yeah, man, we got Chump Wump to give us Mushroom Clouds so that we can potentially rummage them away or use them as discard outlets for our axes. And that is the deck list right there. The objective is to, like I said, set up a Vi lethal with the Sunfork's map and utilize Jae Medarda to fish for these combo pieces as we save up our axes for turn 6, and then we just go absolutely crazy. We have ways to protect our Jae Medarda and our other units from removal, and overall it's just a really solid mid-range list that reminds me a lot of the early beta Raptor Piltover Allegiance mid-range deck with Draven and Heimerdinger that I became very fond of, right? It plays somewhat similarly, but it is definitely its own beast, and it is super satisfying to play. Jae is such a cool card, and I'm really happy that I got him to work. The games that I'm going to showcase today were towards the latter portion of the stream. I was a little bit tired at that point, so I'm not as, like, I don't narrate my plays as much. Just keep that in mind. Hopefully you enjoy the gameplay regardless, because I think it's really good quality. As you guys see, Jae really put in the work here, and Captain Farron as well. Captain Farron, you probably have been looking at this for a while and be like, wow, you're playing this card. Yes, as a one-off in a mid-range deck like this, for matches that drag out a little bit more than you would like, you can just drop this guy and be like, I'll end this! And he'll just create Demsimates, and you'll just smack your opponent and kill them that way. And he actually works. I really like him as a one-off in a deck like this, and I think Captain Farron is actually pretty damn legit right now. In the right deck, of course. And yeah, that's the deck list right there. Blast to play, man. Really excited to just play with Jae Medarda. One of the cards that I was most excited about with the balance patch, and just really happy to find the home for him. So hopefully you guys enjoy the games, and I will stop talking. Have a soul day. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra content. I do post a new deck every single day. I'm working on a Ren Shadowblade deck for next. Let's see if I have it ready for tomorrow or maybe the next day after that. But yeah, I'm very excited, man. I just love when a new balance patch comes out and I just get brewing. It's so fun. And yeah, I'm going to stop talking, like I said. Have a soul one. Enjoy the matches, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to do a bit of an experiment. I'm going to keep Jae in my opening hand. Or Yay. I don't know how you say it. Jae or probably Yay, right?
All about this. Just as I hypothesized.
Oh, I can't wait.
I brought my books. Hope that's all right.
Delish.
Of course
I mean, the cool thing is that if you play Swain, I can Calling Strike. Calling Strike can be incredibly powerful.
Come out and play. No refunds.
If I keep Calling Strike, my opponent basically can drop Swain on curve here.
I can do this.
If he does, we're gonna punish him.
Don't worry. I've read all about this.
Calling Strike here.
Just gonna this here.
My turn.
Got an axe with your name on it. Hey, buddy.
Now I've lost my place.
Time for the moneymakers. Backfired.
Look what you did. Oh, this hurts.
Alright, J time.
What I find, I keep. Discover the unknown.
My writing.
I got you first. Now we're cooking. Discover the unknown.
Explosives prime.
The future.
I'm doing this my way.
Was playing her a mistake here? Not sure.
Draven down.
Still like a yodel in uniform.
Discover the unknown. Discover the unknown. Our boots are on their throats.
Hot shit.
Just making sure.
And that's a knockout!
With all that draw, I could see him level up Twisted Fate pretty easily. The problem with that, Natsu, the issue that I have with that, yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it like this. The issue that I have with that is that if I combine these two regions together, like sorry, if I combine Piltover with Bilgewater, I have no way to protect Twisted Fate, and Twisted Fate is easy to level up with Piltover anyways because of Rummage. So what you're imagining is completely a win more scenario, right? Like, that deck wouldn't really hold itself together.
Hope that's all right. Putting study into practice.
Oh, I can't wait.
You name it, I'll nick it.
I'd love a taste of the action.
What's that you got there?
Look what you. Oh, this hurts.
I'm not buying that elixir fluff.
It's Draven.
It's Draven time. God, yeah, you gotta love it when you draw Draven on turn 3. Oh, feels good.
For the Empire.
Let's boogie. Let us get going.
Let me show you what I can do.
Let's show our friends the door. This is fun, yes?
Could have a transfusion. 'Cause I can go for a transfusion here and an axe, but that's a very, very, like, if he has his own transfusion, that's a super expensive play, and I just don't get anything out of it.
What are you waiting for? It is easy, see?
One girl wrecking crew.
We see through all.
Punch it. Trouble coming at ya. Eat this.
God axes need victims.
Just as I hypothesized.
Routes closed.
Time for the moneymakers. Stay safe, Here beyond.
Carved from the savage cold.
Tell me mask, secure me tail, start the day.
Stand and fight.
Excuse you.
Now we're cooking.
Now we're cooking.
This would be a good winter.
Is that all?
Hit 'em where it hurts. Trouble coming at ya.
Let's not ruffle our feathers. An auspicious season.
Justice.
I could have used my axe to remove it, but if I top deck Jae Medarda, these axes are really gonna come into play. Yeah, there's my boy!
How can Brom handle?
That's a big Brom. I mean, I think I kind of gotta go with Captain Farron anyways, right?
We should be friends. Oh, vermin.
Few earn the right to call themselves Trifarian.
Out of my way!
Let's show our friends the door. Have you met my shield? These eyes see all. This is fun, yes? They won't pass.
I mean, at this point, how can he stop this decimate, right? This decimate fiesta. How can he do it? Finally, Tavern Keeper?
You suck.
Yeah. Got him!
That stands for victory.
Okay, bit of a late game nuke. We don't want to see an opening hand, but the rest of the hand is decent.
Time for the main event.
Time for the main event.
You're out to play.
You're about to play.
I'll try anyone.
Don't worry, I've read all about this.
Come on, Sean.
I love a taste of
God damn it, Sean. Don't do the right play. Don't attack him.
Hey, kiddo. Dig your kid up.
I wanted to drop the Astute
for
Academic.
the Empire. Make the Empire proud.
Watch and learn.
Taking a lot of damage.
Routes closed. Your path ends here.
Fuse is lit. Autographs after the fight, kid.
Autographs after.
Oh yeah. I don't think this match is gonna go long enough for Captain Farron to put in the work here.
This is gonna hurt for you. You hoping they'll die of boredom?
Do I resort to this to level up Draven? I just don't think this game is gonna last long enough for this card too, especially because I'm going down to 8.
Time for the moneymakers. This lives on.
there's so many of these like Noxus decks that I'm running into. Ooh, that's a top deck! What a top deck, boy!
Oh, brother, I was going to say that.
I'm gonna go for a Culling Strike here.
Noxus will rise.
There's the 1-2 punch.
This is...
Move it.
You're gonna get that.
Boy.
God axes need victims.
And that's a knockout.
Swim put on his tier list the elusive deck, but I mean that's not the elusive deck. Like I've been running into a lot of the. I thought only Sylex played that deck, which I've always found a little bit, you know, I found interesting because that deck just seems so incredibly boring, and it's really popular now. Like I'm seeing a lot of like these dull like Noxus mid-range decks with Freljord. They're like. They don't seem that good, to be honest. Like, that deck never felt really good. I don't know. I personally think it's super boring, but that's just me. I'm gonna drop these 2 Demolitionists. I'm gonna see. I have a lot of 2-drops in this deck, so.
I've read all about this. Let's test my theory.
I'm gonna carry over the 2 spell mana for Transfusion.
What you looking for? Smells like opportunity. I got ways to find me mushrooms.
Putting study into practice.
Pressure's worth at least twice as much. Tell into him!
Now I've lost my place.
I'm doing this my way.
I brought my books. Hope that's all right.
If they don't break, they'll burn. For the glory of Noxus.
I don't need a plan. Trouble coming at ya. Coming to save the day.
Yeah, he had all of his early curve. Like he had like multiple copies of each unit. And yeah, unfortunately we're gonna go down to like a he's obviously gonna have the 6th drop. Okay, why not?
Think I'm still like a yodel in uniform?
Pull them under.
I don't want to play into Ruination. Enough! Enough of this bullshit! Enough!
These waters are mine.
Vi stands for vicious.
Your path ends here.
I have to block this.
Honestly, I make money.
I tried being polite. Eat this! Get Enforcer down.
Give me the stuff! Stuff make happy!
Really? Really? Or there should have been a good chance. Alright, so I'm gonna drop one of you, and I'm gonna drop one of you. I'm gonna keep the pickpocket, just in case my opponent doesn't have anything. Pickpocket can be really good your turn too. Because if they rely on kegs to apply pressure. Okay, never mind.
Let me show you what I can do.
You can play a keg here, which is annoying.
I love a taste of reaction. Is that all?
If I play this, I play into another keg into a Make It Rain. If I play you, he could have a
I have the best
aggressively
job.
on dying. Because I don't want to play Draven into a potential Twist of Fate.
Delicious.
I'm always up for a round or two. All that glitters. Draven out. The party has arrived. Vessel small, but she ain't lacking courage. Set the hooks. Time for the money makers. Come out. Watch and learn. That egg. Did it move?
What you looking for?
Danger paid. Vessel small, but she ain't lacking courage. Going harvesting. Fell into him. Now we're cooking.
Nice. Let's go, Jay.
Store the rations! Shackle the prisoners!
Discover the unknown. I got here first.
What do we have here?
I could go with a map onto this.
You hoping they'll die of boredom?
Smells like opportunity.
God axes need victims.
Search then.
Halt.
Just talking.
I rarely forget and never forgive.
Captain on deck!
Time for the money makers. Discover the unknown. Discover the unknown. All me. And maybe those other guys. Whatever.
He's just a late game, just draw machine that can help me find lethal. I think that's when he's gonna like really shine. Okay, let's drop the map. Whirling Death can be interesting. I'm gonna drop these two though. I'm gonna do a full mulligan actually. I want a bit of a just better hand all around. We're always happy to see Draven early on. Man, Jae, such a cool card, dude. Such a cool card.
Remember the objectives. Blast them.
Not worth using the thing strike on this.
It's Draven time. Let's boogie.
Your path ends here.
You suck.
That's fine. That's actually fine.
For the Empire. Clear it out! Strike at their foundations! Clear it out! Routes closed.
This'll take the chill off.
I'll try anyone once.
I found my family.
My bloodkin. I just don't have any cleared plays. I could.
You must teach me when you have time.
I'll think about it.
I love adventure. The treasure's just a moment.
Yeah, it's definitely my deck.
Remember the objectives.
Discover the unknown.
You.
It's nothing personal.
Your path ends here. Come here, darling.
Oh, my friend!
Discover the unknown. The party has arrived.
Looking for some action, Ed?
Blood exists to be pumped, no?
Treasure. Glory.
Routes closed.
You hoping they'll die of boredom? Now we're cooking.
Should have done this. I wasted the axe.
Discover the unknown.
I wasted my axe.
You'll live, probably.
The bloodier the better.
I'm out of their league.
Got an axe with your name on it.
Back off, buddy.
You're gonna need that. Go discover the unknown.
The party has arrived.
Pick up.
Be grateful I even noticed.
Here comes the punchline.
It is easy, see?
All right.
Discover the unknown.
unknown.
Justice firsthand!
Yeah, boy! There we go.
Mine stands for victory.